Last week we've actually studied hire purchase, okay, so we looked through that and comparing prices. This week we're going to start credit card stuff, so if you're not up to scratch yet...
I grew up in Murray Bridge as a student here at Murray Bridge High School, and I've come back to teach. The school currently has about 900 students, and of those 100 are Aboriginal students.
This year the test is more important than the exam, okay, so we want to focus on the test, all right?
As a history teacher as well as a maths teacher, reconciliation is an important part because acknowledging the history of the country that often gets ignored is a very important part of my core beliefs as well.
We'll do a really easy example. 20% per annum. It's time to turn it into a daily rate.
I've actually done quite well in building the rapport up with the students. However, I am quite aware that if any issues did arise, that we have a great team of Aboriginal support workers who have strong links with the communities and the families in town, and any problems that we have, they will be very able to help out and actually make those direct links for us. Murray Bridge is a town that's growing rapidly at the moment. We've just almost reached 17,000 people and are sort of projected to grow a lot more in the near future. The Ngarrindjeri people are the traditional custodians of this land, from the Lower Murray region through the lower lakes and the Coorong. They are less nomadic people than the other Aboriginal peoples of Australia because they have such an abundant food source. Growing up in Murray Bridge, I didn't have to do a lot of research on the Ngarrindjeri people before I started teaching here because it was sort of taught as I went through school here in that great reconciliation drive of the early 90s. Our school actually has 3 key core values: excellence, respect and working together, and reconciliation is a big part of all of those values. We try to recognise each other's cultures, and we've done that by displaying some Aboriginal artwork around the school. We're working on planning an Indigenous garden later this term. So then that comes round and that's going to be built up in arcs. So yeah. We had some excellent lecturers, went to University of Adelaide. Some of the amazing things were about how early in life Aboriginal students become adults in their community, and they come into school and often treated as young people when they should be given a bit more responsibility, I suppose. I'm pretty sure these 2 big trees are staying. I've tried to come across very much not as an authority figure to start with, which seems to help a lot.
What's that?
And sort of little things help as well, like you don't call an Aboriginal teenager a boy or anything like that because it's a disrespect to their culture. So you call them men, or I generally use fellas, and they like that.
These sort of grasses, type native grasses. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to just show them that I'm here to try and help them with their future, and they seem to respect that. In my Year 11 class, one of the Aboriginal students actually got up and taught the class the topic that he knew, and the class respected him and listened to him as if he were a teacher, which I thought was brilliant.
Right, so once the interest-free period expires, it's like it was never there in the first place. Okay, so that's the important part.
I've done some work with some of my classes on numbers and numeracy from other cultures, which really opened a big window because of the Aboriginal students in the class automatically chose to research Aboriginal concepts in mathematics.
Interest-free has expired.
Aboriginal people don't get a lot of recognition for having any sort of mathematical systems, and it really opens the kids' eyes that the Aboriginal people had these advanced ideas as well. They just had a very different way of showing them and representing them in terms of their own beliefs. Reconciliation has been an important part of my teaching so far at Murray Bridge High School. I believe it really gives students an opportunity to understand the world they live in and the cultures that surround them. And one thing I definitely know for sure is that reconciliation is everyone's business.